We are now at our 7th podcast. I can't even believe I'm saying 7th podcast in. And although, Marky, we've known each other for many years, but we've never even had a meal together.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So thanks, Marky, for coming in. I really appreciate you turning up here today, because my sort of memory of you then, yeah? If I look at your timeline that I know of you, is this like shy little kid,
Yes.
turns up from Brazil. I didn't even know like how the Brazil connection happened.
We're gonna find out everything.
And I'm sorry to say little boy, because you're
good.
a big man.
I feel good. I feel really good.
You're a big man. Do you get what I mean?
Good.
And but at the time it was like, it felt like the way you were. You're like, well, this wide-eyed kid, like, man, I'm in London. Do you know what I mean? But before we get into all of that, let's go right the way back to the beginning. You know what I mean? And so, you know, what is your real name Marky then? Yeah.
No, my real name is Marco.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Marco is my my real name, and yeah, I came from quite poor background, and my mom and my dad, and my sisters, because I'm the baby, so I like when you call me little boy. I love it, to be honest. So yeah, so I grew up, with a lot of music in my house. But my dad was a policeman.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
He was
okay.
like, he was work on the forces, like special forces, like to catch bank robbers and stuff like that.
Okay,
so
wow.
sometimes he was on a TV, and
Right,
I didn't like it. I didn't like it. But he used to play instruments. He used to play guitar, acoustic guitar, like all the instruments with chords. He used to play. So, but he was quite radical. Like, oh yeah, if you wanna play instruments, you need to learn, or you have to go and work, pretty much. But my mother, my mother has always said, nah, you need to study. You need to study, and because I grew up surround records, like so many records. So I'm talking about of course my parents told me, like, when I born, and they get me out of the hospital, they bought 2 records. And the first one is 360 Degrees of Billy Paul and Marvin Gaye. Let's get it on. So I'm old guy, 73.
Right, okay.
So it's a good start.
Yeah,
It's a great
start.
great record.
So actually,
right?
you weren't that much younger than me then.
Yeah. Great records, right?
Yeah.
And so I grew up surround records, and what is fascinating me, it was the vinyl. It's just a piece of vinyl. It's just like I used to start decorating the labels, and so reading the technicals, and that's what I grew up. So and what fascinates me was the American music at the time.
Okay. When you spoke about, it's interesting actually, like the contrast of that, because you said like you grew up and it was quite a poor background, yet your father was a policeman. So I suppose, why am I saying that? Because I think in this country perhaps, and again it's an assumption, I don't know anybody that is a policeman, but you would think that they might be okay. You know what I mean? Like financially, like it might not be too bad. So are you saying that it was still quite a struggle, like when you were like very young with your family?
Well, we're not struggle. We had like a modest house, and but I never had, for example, my own bedroom. It always like we have like a bedroom like the size of the studio, and we sleep all together. Me, my mom, dad, and my sisters. So and we have like the stereo, and pretty much my grandma has had the house. So my dad, he built up a room for all of us to sleep. So pretty much we used to live together. So I used to live together with my nan, and my uncle.
Yeah, because I'm
and
trying to
it was
get.
good.
I mean, I like when I think about Brazil. I mean, my geography is terrible, to my shame. But when I think about Brazil, and I know that you're from São Paulo, right? São
Yeah.
Paulo. I kind of like, I have no idea geographically where that is in relation to, like, I don't know. You know, like, I always have these images of, like, City of God. You know, the movie.
No. You get
what I mean?
It's not like that.
And
No.
I'm like, so, and this is why I said to you earlier when I was saying to you about, I think maybe I made an assumption. You know what I mean? Because you know, like, what I see of, like, what they show of Brazil on telly is, like, they show over here.
Yeah.
Is either, you know, like, real sort of, like, favela, City of God life, or they show the beach and the sort of, like, people on the beach surfing and what have you, and there isn't, like, this in between. And so I started to kind of build these assumptions. I thought, Ron, stop, right?
Yeah.
Let Marky explain it himself.
Yeah, no, man. He's like, we have, like, you know, we've got the suburbs, like, you know, places like, I don't know, like, same like here, like Hackney and, you know, Brixton and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And the favelas is a little bit far away.
Is it still in São Paulo though? Yeah.
Yeah, it's still São Paulo. Because São Paulo is
huge.
São Paulo is huge, isn't it?
Right,
it's like. It's 23 million people live there, you know.
That's a big place.
That's double the London, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a big place. Yeah.
So it's a big place, but we have space.
Yeah,
we have space. Rio is tiny.
Yeah. Okay.
Rio is tiny. For example, you can. For example, it's got it's got one avenue, and this Vieira Soto Avenue. And this side, you can see, like, the complex of all the richest actors, actresses, musicians, like really rich people live in this side.
Yeah.
And you cross the street, you got the biggest favela in the world, which is Rocinha.
Right, that's crazy.
But it's very funny because in the Rocinha, on the favela, inside the favela, they have McDonald's, they have, like, shoppings, and they have, like, it's a word inside
in its own way, yeah. Because even that you're saying about McDonald's and this, that, and the other, and I know City of God came out a long time ago, and I know I shouldn't be kind of like judging a country off of a movie.
Yeah, what happened in City of God is they try to picture what happened in the 70s.
Okay, right.
Like,
okay,
you know,
modern time. Because the way how it looked like there, that's the image that stayed with me. Do you get what I mean? So you saying McDonald's and whatever, in my mind, I'm still seeing corrugated iron. Do you get what I mean? And like the bird's eye shot, looking down.
We can get tourism. You can get tourism inside the favelas
and
stuff like that if you go Rio.
Yeah.
But in São Paulo, there's no tourism.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
The favela is sometimes dangerous, but it's got so much nice people. Where I grew up, it had a very tiny favela.
Okay.
Close.
Yeah.
Where I grew up.
Right.
But all the guys, he just came to school with me.
Right. Okay.
So, you know, we know everybody.
yeah,
So we know everybody who used to play together. When we start, like, making the parties, we made it together. So everybody. So it was. I had a great childhood.
Yeah,
you know
good,
what I mean?
good,
I had a really, really good childhood.
That's good. I mean, it's interesting because, like I said, you know, making those assumptions about based on a movie.
No. It's nothing to do with movie. It's the same. I'll tell you what, it's a very funny because my sisters, my older sister, her name is Elizabeth, because my dad, it was fascinating about London.
Oh, really? Right.
He was fascinated. He never been here. He doesn't speak English. Unfortunately, he passed away like 8-9 years ago. But what happened was, he was thinking, like, when we like young, he was like, no, you can't sit like this. You have to sit like this, like the British people.
Right,
you have to use the knife and fork like this and blah, 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 like very...
Particular.
It's a very particular way. And I was just like, oh, Yeah, because he saw in the movies.
Yeah, yeah.
When I came here,
Everyone's-
because for me, for example, I can't eat chicken with my hands.
Right, yeah,
I
yeah.
had to have a knife and fork.
And that's instilled
Pizza.
from your dad.
Yeah, pizza, knife and fork, everything knife and fork.
Right, that's interesting. Yeah.
When I came in here, people, it was just like, what? No napkins, no. I was just like,
This is not the England I heard
God,
of.
That's not what I saw. And I remember when the first time I came here, I said, Dad, you're wrong. They're humans.
and so you still eating chicken with a knife and fork?
I still
You're doing it?
I still.
Good.
I still.
All right, so then here we go then. So then you got your childhood. You know, like it's fine. Yeah, there's no problems in your childhood. You've got a musical background from a very early stage.
Yeah.
So Tom, just kind of like give me some context as to when you sort of like started to feel the bug of like, you know, I want to do more than just listening to them in my house.
It was pretty much before. Like I always say this story because it's very, very cool. My mum, when I was 3 years old, she went to a shop and she bought this album, and she just kept the album, and I said like, no, you're gonna listen to this album when you're 9 or 10, because this record is gonna change your life. Yeah. So, and I was very curious to listen this album for like all my childhood. So when she gave it to me back there, now you can listen. It was Stevie Wonder's Songs in the Key of Life.
Okay, right. Okay.
So it's my favorite album.
Right.
Okay.
Know?
So
and
if you ask me a question about my favorite album, I tell you now. I just told you now.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really. This is like translate my love
for
music and to my mother.
Right.
I'm like very desperate to my mother. She's like, for me, she's the best person in the planet.
I saw a post of you with your mum.
Yeah, I do like a live stream with her sometimes. He's very funny. He's very funny. With my kids.
So then you get this album. And then you're fascinated with this album.
Yeah.
How did that then turn into you wanting to perform?
But perform, it was like, it had these guys in, it's like a group of like, I don't know, the guys like older, like I was like 9 to 10. And these guys had like, what's it called? What you guys called? Like a kind of a sound system.
Okay.
So they bring like the sound system to some, garage, because garage in Brazil is like when we park the car.
Cars,
the space.
Yeah.
So pretty much people like who had like a big garage or have 2 cars, we used to make parties.
Parties in there, right? Okay.
Parties in there. So these guys used to make parties, but only my sisters went there because they don't let the kids go.
Yeah, because you were too young.
Yeah, because too young. But we can listen to tune.
Yeah.
From the street.
Yeah.
And
what sort of music was they playing?
That's where I changed my life. That's when I heard Zap Moore Bounce to the House.
Ah, okay, right.
Then I was just like, oh, this is something else, you know what I mean? I was Moore Bounce to the House, and at the same time they played what's it called? The album Curtis Blow the Juice.
Yeah.
That's the one's got Do the Do.
That's right. Yeah.
Right. So they played like mainly that kind of vibe and Tom Brown like.
Wow.
Funkin' for Jamaica.
Yeah, that's a party.
And I was just like, whoa, this is the music I want for my life. Yeah. That's for me, that's what it changed my vision of music. And I was just like, oh yeah, I think I need to do parties. I'm gonna start doing my own parties.
And how old are you at this point?
I was like 9 to 10
years old.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
So me and my friends, we start like practicing dancing, like, and we start creating parties. And I was the DJ.
Like from what age? At 10?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
Because I heard these tunes.
Yeah.
And my mom used to say to me, if you give me good notes on a school, I'll give you a record.
Right. Okay.
So every time, like every month when I had the exams, I was like doing my best, because if I'd be good, I'm gonna get a record.
Right.
You know, so that's, you know, my friends who wants like, you know, toys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I want record.
you
I
want
had like
records.
very, I never had like big toy and, you know, toys and stuff. I always had
Music,
music,
records,
records.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's really interesting because I don't know anybody. You see, and I suppose that's the cultural difference as well.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody who's putting on any parties at 10 years old over here.
Man, it's it's very common in Brazil.
Yeah, well,
very
there you go.
common.
There you go. So,
Yeah.
so where did the sort of like the, you know, the attributes of like scratching and things like that
No,
kick
this
in?
is came later.
Right.
You know, this came later. What I heard first, a friend of mine came to me and said like, look, 10 o'clock on the radio, we've got these guys. They played in the clubs, and they have like 1 hour mixing, and I was just like, what is mixing?
Yeah.
I have no clue what is
And
mixing.
you were 10 at this point, yeah?
Yeah,
Right,
I was
okay,
10.
Yeah.
And they put like all, you know, the tracks together.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
was just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. But I just like, how am I going to
How
do
do you
this?
do it? Yeah.
You know, how am I going to do this? I didn't know. So we have like, I had one system, no pitch,
Yeah.
with a Gahard turntable.
Yeah.
And my friend, my neighbor, he had another sound system as well.
Yeah.
So we put it both together and we invert the speakers.
Right.
You know?
Okay. Yeah.
So
yeah.
we play. So that's the way we play. Sometimes, you know, when I play this sound system, 2 speakers here, play the other 2 speakers there.
Yeah.
So and I was just like, oh, that's something like. It took me ages to accept this, but I think is a gift, because I the first time when I put both tunes together, because I was listening to records all the time, I knew where the space is to mix it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I never learned how to mix, because I pretty much, you know, I study music, isn't it? Study the records, listen every day. So I just know where to cut
Where to
and
do.
yeah.
So it wasn't so much like mixing. It was more just kind of like cutting from one to the other.
Yeah, it was like, imagine two systems here, put it like one headphone is here.
Yeah.
You know, spin up a little bit with the finger, then go here on the volume, close here and up here. You know, very. You know. It's difficult.
So it's like a stack system.
Yeah, it was.
That is crazy.
It was crazy.
That's really crazy.
Then in 1984, I saw Technics on TV from the video of Malcolm McLaren, Buffalo Girls. Then I saw Scratch.
Right. Okay. So you hear Duck Rock, you hear the scratching. And then you're like,
yeah, and
right.
I saw the video. When I saw the video, I saw turntables. I just like, oh my God. But at the same time, I saw turntables. Now, the price of a turntables, it was like a price of a car.
Yeah, that's right.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
And I said like, oh God, I said to my mom, I need that turntable. My mom was just like, you can't get Marco, you can't get this.
Yeah.
But it had like this show on a radio. A friend of mine discovered that the guys was editing tracks on a reel-to-reel tapes.
Okay.
So I trade my bike to a reel-to-reel tape. Then I start editing.
Right.
And instead of play with 2 sound systems.
Yeah. You start playing with the reel-to-reel.
I start playing with reel-to-reel tapes. You know?
So you got this love of music. You're kind of like finding ways to now edit, albeit that they be your own version. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then time moves on, do you know what I mean? And then somehow along the line, you know what I mean, this becomes more serious for you.
Yeah.
You know, like, tell me about that.
Pretty much, the radio, the big radio, Bandeirantes FM, they did this competition, like, you can bring your records to the place, like, for example, in the middle of an old street, like, old street, they put like a turntables, and you bring your records, you play. And they put like the mixer, the Gemini mixer with the little wood on the side. The one, Cash Money, when Cash Money, you know, won the DMC one. Because that, you know, was just jump the park. Because otherwise, you know, it's a lot of stories.
Yeah.
So So then I met a few people. Then it started like DJ competitions in Brazil, but not like performing. It was like mixing.
Okay.
So who's got the best sequence, you know? And I start, then I just like I jump in, you know. The prizes was like a Gemini mixer, 10 imported singles and stuff like that, you know. Never Technics.
Yeah.
Never Technics. I won Technics, and I won pretty much, I don't know, 3 or 4. Just
because of the mixing.
Yeah. Then the last one. The prize was the records and the mixer, and you can work on a club for 2 months.
Okay, like as a resident.
So like as a resident. So
how old were you at this point?
That point I was like 15 to 16.
Okay, yeah.
Is when like I discovered, you know, it was a house music as well. But it was like something that fascinates me, and I didn't know like a lot of this stuff came from England, which is called hip house.
Okay, yeah.
Right? England and Chicago, isn't it? So, I used to love like stuff like B Masters and what's it called? S Express and Other Rhythm King, you know, Betty Boo. Money, Love. So I started playing this club, and it was cool. And imagine I was mixing from. I had to play like the whole party. So play like, I don't know, 6 to 7 hours, which is very normal in Brazil.
Wow.
Very normal.
Yeah.
Like even when people said like, Marky long set, 10-hour set, and in Brazil it's normal. Playing you know, 10-hour set. You know, 12 hours. We don't care. We want to play records, and but he had like sections. Yeah. You know, play electronic music, then had to play rock, a little bit hip hop. You know, and I remember I did like the same thing like the DJs now is doing. I was like practicing the whole sequence.
Yeah. So basically, you're looking at your whole set rather than randomly picking records.
The whole set. And trust me, even the love songs, because at the time we used to play love songs in the middle of the party.
Yeah.
Even like I was talking with with Daddy O. He's like, I said to him like about playing love songs in the middle of the sets, and he was like, "Oh, these are just so in Jamaica. It was not here, not England. It was not." No,
it didn't happen.
Never happened. Anyways, so
that only happened at school discos.
School disco. Anyways, the party used to be like kind of school disco. Then, and I remember like I was playing this record. I'll never forget. It was a Foolish Bee by Debbie Gibson, and the middle's got a breakdown, and I used to put the a cappella of George Michael, Careless Whispers. I did it once. All my friends went absolutely crazy. Just like, what the hell are you mixing? Like, slow jams?
Yeah.
Just like, and it came with like New Kids on the Block on the top. Please don't. And everybody went crazy. But I did this for a month.
Right. Okay.
And the guy fired me.
No way.
The guy, the owner of the club fired me. I was just like, look. Everybody's singing my mix,
they love it.
Everybody's singing.
But why did he fire you then?
Yeah, why you fire me? I'm good.
You're doing
it's
good.
Like, no, you're not good.
What?
Because you not feeling the crowd. You're not creating hits. A DJ needs to create hits. A DJ needs to surprise the people and surprise himself. When you're ready, you come back.
Right.
It was the best lesson I had in my life.
Right, okay.
It's the best lesson.
Because is that because you're saying that while you were enjoying that mix and your friends were enjoying it, that was just you and your friends?
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody else was like doing on another thing.
Everybody was enjoying, but he said like you got more to offer.
Yeah.
He said like, he saw something in me that, you know, he said like, no, you got much more to offer. This is like, no. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna start reading the crowd, teach how to read the crowd and stuff like that. Yeah. So then I got fired. Then I was...
And you're 15 years old at this time. Which
Yeah,
is
I was like,
you're
yes, yeah, 15 to 16. Then I was like, I think, then I was just like, can't get job in the clubs. And then I was trying to back to uni.
Yeah.
And
what did you study at uni?
it's like something like, it's called, I don't know in English. It's like, it's a very nonsense thing. Andy studied the same thing, DJ Andy.
Right.
It's like a commerce, outside commerce, like overseas, like
Commerce.
overseas
Okay.
commerce.
Right. Okay.
And
okay.
but I don't understand nothing. I just
yeah.
went like, I don't know.
So you can get more records from your mum.
Something like that. Not from my mum, but at the time I need to get, I need to work.
Yeah.
Because my dad, at some point said like, oh yeah, you're good, you're DJ now.
Yeah.
So now it's time to pay.
Where's
to
the
pay
money?
some bills,
yeah,
what I mean? Because look how many equipment you got. You got turntable, you got reel-to-reel tapes. That's all energy.
Yeah,
you need to pay me.
yeah.
That's when I started working in a record shop. That's when the club who fired me. This guy, of course, a few years after, my boss who had the record shop, he bought that club.
Right.
And he put me in it. Then it was 90s. That was the 90s, beginning 90s. Then when I'm back to the same club that the guy fired me, the music was completely different. That's when I received on the shop the record by T99 Anastasia.
Wow, big tune.
Then my world was upside down.
Yeah.
And it changed everything for me. I was
Big
just
tune.
like, what is this? And I start showing my friends.
Yeah.
My friends, no.
Well, you don't know what they don't even know what it is.
This is not good. No, this is music from devil. Yeah, it's just like, oh no, this is good. This is different. I always like hunting for different music. Then I was just like, then I heard some clubs in a quite rich, cool areas in Brazil was playing this kind of music. Then I was just like, oh my God. Then I discovered Enjoy, Alternate,
right, okay.
Bizarre Inc.,
so that's
DJ
interesting.
Seduction.
So now this is, this is cool because we always think of acid house, and that era as a European thing. We don't even think it as American thing, let alone a Brazilian thing. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, but yet you're saying to me that music was kind of penetrating the club scene, even in Brazil.
Yeah, because even
São
like,
Paulo.
even when I was playing this club, before, like when I was practicing and stuff, the stuff I used to play, like a house stuff, it was like Todd Terry Project Weekend, Bango, what's it called? Tyree, Turn Up the Bass, Fast Eddie, Yo Get Funky, and and a mix with like, beat masters and stuff like that. Then Rebel MC, then Wickedest Sound, and all these tracks. So I used to mix. It was not like a section of acid house. We were just playing everything.
Music, a bit of everything.
Like Maurice, this is acid. It's like a big tune. Massive tune.
So then. Here we are now. Now I'm starting to understand it a bit because.
But the rave, rave.
Because by virtue of the rave scene, I can see how now somewhere along the line, there must have been another shift.
Yeah.
Because you're a big sort of like jungle drum and bass DJ now. So let's talk about how that transition started to happen and how did Bryan come to find you and Patife and how did that come about?
Yeah, well, pretty much on the rave days, because I used to work in a record shop, I had the records. So I started playing these tracks on the suburbs.
Yeah.
So me and other friend, my friend DJ Julian, we built up a scene in the east side.
Right.
So people from other suburbs, but suburbs like far away, like 1 hour drive or something like that, he used to come to see me playing, me and my friend playing, because we played these different tracks. And one of these guys was Patife.
And what was the music? What was the music?
So
at the
the
time?
music it was like pretty much like Channel X, Rave the Rhythm, T99 Anastasia, what's it called? GTO, a lot of alternate stuff, and Prodigy, the
So
Experience
essentially,
album.
what you were doing then, you were cultivating electronic music as a
Yeah.
scene when actually
Yeah.
most people weren't really into
Yeah,
it.
yeah, and then we stopped playing
Yeah.
like love ballads
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
No
yeah,
love
yeah, that's right.
ballads. So
Yeah.
it was just pure electronic music because that's when we discovered Music magazine and Jockey's Law and all the UK magazines.
Yeah, yeah.
So we used to buy this all important magazine. It used to cost like, I don't know, for us like 30, 40 quid nowadays, you know,
That's crazy.
just to get the list, like of the, you know, just to
Top
get
records,
the
yeah,
playlist
yeah, yeah.
of top records.
So that
like-
you know, okay, I need to get this
Yeah.
record. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but then we used to mix all these tracks and with techno as well.
Yeah,
We play
yeah.
like a lot of Kevin Saunders and stuff. But when hardcore came in, like when I heard like Fat Out, it was another change
Yeah.
my mind. It was a Far Out and Mr. Kirk's Nightmare.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, that's the two records I was just like, what is this? It's just,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, it blew my mind. So I ordered a lot of records from Rainforest, Suburban Bass, more Suburban Bass, and Moving Shadow.
Brilliant, brilliant.
Yeah, so,
brilliant.
but because it was hard to get these records,
Yeah.
because the records come from the UK, but to import to Brazil, you have to buy from American distribution because
Right,
it's
yeah,
closer.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
Miami
that's
is
right,
like
yeah.
8 hours. So it needs to be like big labels, like, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's the only free labels
Wow.
I can get the records.
Wow, wow.
Right.
That's crazy.
So it's very crazy. So that's why, like, you know, that's when I heard the first music by Danny Breaks and DJ Hype, Room Things and Cosmo and Dibs, which Two Bad Mice. For Hero Tech 9, and then I discovered it's For Hero Tech 9. It's all the same person, you know, it's Digo and Mark.
It's fascinating that, to me, it's fascinating that, you know, we over here, you know, at that time when I was producing music or with my record label, you know, like you press so many records, you just think it's being sold in this country.
We can get London something.
Yeah.
Cannot get.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I just, you know what? I tell you what.
Because
I
it
just
must have been a big deal for those
Yeah.
pieces of vinyl
It was
to
like-
end up in
yeah.
America, that you could then get them in things. It's a
Yeah.
big deal.
Yeah.
It's not a small
for
thing
example,
for
more
that to get
music,
there, yeah.
right? More music. Me and the Patife, I sold so many copies.
Yeah, yeah.
So many copies because it was the compilation, was the German bass selection.
Right, yeah, yeah.
Like 5 tracks in one side. It was just like, oh God, horrible to play.
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Low
Yeah,
volume.
very low. And, you know, we just get like, you know, man, to get all these records, like, you know, for me to buy like DJ Crystal, you know, More Music. And I bought these records like 10, 12 years after here.
That's crazy.
10, 12 years. When the tune was like a classic already.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and I bought everything.
Yeah, yeah, to make sure you got it. Yeah,
The
yeah.
only one I don't have is the Music Box original.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Ronnie one,
Right,
Ronnie and
okay,
Die.
right,
That's the
okay.
only one I don't have. But the German bass selections, I bought everything. But it was hard.
Yeah.
It was hard to get records.
Yeah.
We just had.
sounds it.
We just had Suburban Bass, Moving Shadow, Rainforest. That's the only free labels. Sometimes, very rarely, we had like one another, like, I don't know, One Face Records, like, you know, One Face Records or one good looking one or two. Yeah. It was difficult.
You said that when you were putting on your parties and, you know, people would travel like far and wide to come to these parties and Patife's there. Big up Patife wherever you are, bro. Do you get what I mean? Long time no see.
He discovered jungle, hardcore, jungle, drum and bass with me.
Right.
See me
okay.
playing.
Right. Okay. So before that, he didn't know about it before.
No,
then?
he wasn't. He was. I didn't know him.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he was involved with a hip hop group. He was
Right,
a DJ of a hip hop
yeah,
group.
Yeah.
Then he heard me on the radio because I had a radio show.
Yeah.
And I used to play in this. Then I start playing this other club called the Toko. Is one of the. Back in the day, it was this big, massive, huge club for like 5,000 people.
Wow.
But inside the club, he had like a little club.
Yeah.
And they said to me, they want me to play for 5,000 people.
Yeah.
And I said no,
Yeah.
because the music I want to play
It's not like that.
is not for 5,000
Yeah,
people,
yeah,
because he used
yeah.
to play like very pop music.
Uh-huh.
And I said, let me play here. Let me play in a little section for like 500 people.
Yeah.
300, 500 people. And I come here and I do like a section, like 45 minutes, 1 hour section, play underground music.
Yeah.
It's okay. Then that's why I started education.
Yeah. So basically, you started from the ground up. You were like I don't know, like a Studio One or something. If it was like Jamaica, or like what was that place called in over here? There's like a small club, like a Blue Note, perhaps. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like where
Pretty
you're
much.
like cultivating this sound in that space.
Yeah, because that's the sound I believed. I was just
Yeah.
like, but it was not just me. It was just, even like, I remember my mom like, you're doing something wrong. It's not right.
Mm.
You need to play the tunes for the people. The tunes that they like. I said, no, Mom, that's not what I want.
Yeah.
What I want is educate people and bring something new.
Yeah.
Show some new music for them.
Yeah, and I think it's important, and I think that if you consider that, I think anybody, if you like something, then it's quite likely that somebody else is going to like it. Might not everybody, but it can't be that you're crazy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it can't be that the person who made that record is crazy. I mean, somebody's put a lot of effort into making the record, and so you start to build this club up. You meet Patife, and how did you and his relationship build?
So pretty much the relationship, he saw me playing Lighter by SS, Lighter, and he really wants a record. And at that time, it's a different time, isn't it? So I said, like, look, I don't have the record, but I'll sort it out.
Yeah.
Actually, I had the record,
Yeah.
and underneath it was like hiding all the records.
Yeah.
Then we went to have some meal and, a sandwich.
Yeah,
At the time, it's like, then he's like, oh yeah, I'm playing this club in the suburbs as well. So
Yeah.
I said, okay, I'll go there. So you went there. So I went there, and it was crazy because it was the same like what I was doing.
And it was the same music. as
Same
well.
music,
Right, okay.
yeah. And he was playing like, I remember one tune he was playing all the time. It was Foul Play. Open Your Mind. He was playing all the time that tune, and I was just like, okay, wow, that's cool. So we start creating like a little jungle scene and blah blah blah, and of course when Zinc, when Hype and Zinc released like Super Sharp Shooter, that was a big explosion in the country. So I started doing like mix CDs and stuff like that for the labels. Haven't got any penny. I don't know if they pay the artists, but But what I did, it was a big thing,
And so then you and Patife now did, by virtue of like sharing sort of like club space then, you know what I mean, and what have you, and playing at each other's clubs and whatever.
Yeah.
Well, how did Bryan get involved in this, and Nigel and V Recordings? Because that's where I remember you from. Do you get what I mean? Yeah.
Cool. That's now, what happened was, we are playing drum and bass at that time. And one day, one guy, he came into the shop. This guy is my good friend. Big love to him, Adrian Harley. He came into the shop I was working, and he was the only person like, oh, have you got jungle records?
Yeah.
And I was just like, what? And he's like, and he's with like, in Portuguese, with no accent, no accent. Like he was speaking brilliant Portuguese.
Yeah.
And he was like, I said, jungle. It's just like, yeah. He's like, where you from? And he's like, I'm from England, but I'm doing like some uni here, blah, blah, blah. Just like, you're from England? Yes. So you speak English? He's like, oh, you're stupid. I was just very, because it freaked me out.
Yeah.
Because I said, so you go to jungle parties in the UK?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. So he started telling me about a few things about jungle parties here. And I said, like, look, I got a party tonight, which was at Patife's. He was going to play Patife's club. And do you want to come with me? And you jump on the mic. And he's like, yeah, but I'm going to say what? I said, anything in English, anything, just say anything, but you just talk English. So I came here and I started playing, and that's the first time he saw me playing, and he was like, what the hell is this? What the hell? I just met you. It's crazy, right? He's from overseas. He came to me, and we went to bloody suburbs near the favela playing jungle music. And he came here, and when he picked up the mic, and I was DJ and doing scratches and stuff, he blew his mind. He was like, oh my God, what is this? So I introduced him to everybody. So he started hanging out with us. Then he came back to England. And then he came back to Brazil. When he came back to Brazil, he came with a lot of records.
Wow.
So then I had the metal heads. He gave me like the bass too dark. And I'll never forget. Champion DJ, Conganati, and I was just like, shit,
You're the man.
Yeah, I'm the man. He's like, no, you need to know about dubplate. And dubplate, what the hell is dubplate? Then he explained to me. Anyways, the party, it was really good. And he's like, oh, look, the parties is like, is very good. There's so many people who like jungle music. I think you need to do like a big party. I was just like, yeah, what are we going to do? And then Patife had the idea to do this party called Movement. Mm-hmm. Then he said, yeah, but it's got movement party in the UK.
Yeah.
So said, yeah, probably we have to fly to England to get permission.
Yeah.
So, okay. So at the beginning, I supposed to fly here. And I said...
Just for that reason?
Just for that reason.
And to get some records?
So then I start playing at this club called the Lovey Club. And this was the best club I played, one of the best clubs I played in my life, because I had my drum and bass night.
Yeah.
And we had, because it was like in a very cold place, and the owner, Angelo, rest in peace, because he passed away a few years ago, 2 years ago, he believed in me so much. And he loved me. He's like, oh, you're my son. Just like, oh, I really want to bring some people from overseas, some DJs. And he said, like, oh, I got a meeting with Marcos Boffa, is the other guy. He's got DJ Diane, Dynamite MC. Do you know these guys? I'm just like, of course.
They were booked to play already?
And we booked Diane and Dynamite. It was an amazing night. Smashed it. He smashed it completely, and that's when I saw the play for the first time. And I remember he's playing.
What year
it
was
this? It was a 98.
All right, so it's quite a way down. Yeah.
98, yeah. So otherwise we're gonna be here forever.
Yeah.
So 98. It was 97.
Yeah.
97.
Okay.
Because then he gave me, it was 98, I think, because he gave me the test press. He gave me the test press of Ways of the Dragon. Yeah, he gave me. So he opened with dictation, and
Must have just
you just destroyed it.
Yeah.
Just destroyed.
I would have loved to have seen what that looked like in Brazil, because even while you're telling me, like, I had no idea. I mean, of course, we were traveling at that time. We're going to Germany, and we're going to the States, and there's these parties happening and what have you. But there's something about the fact that these parties were kicking off in Brazil that I would have loved to have seen, like, what that looked like.
It was special, man. It was special. So Patife came here, and he had a meeting with Oliver and Ado.
Yeah.
And they had like a VHS tape. And he showed like Patife playing, Andy, Colorado, and I was the last one on the tape.
Yeah.
And when Oliver and Ada saw me, no, rewind that. I want to see this guy.
Yeah.
Who is this guy? They said, oh, Marky. He's the biggest DJ in the country, and blah, blah, blah. And they said, no, we need to see him doing this.
Yeah.
This is not possible.
Yeah, because at that time now you'd incorporated your scratching into the jungle while you were playing by this time, right?
I did a little bit because when I received the tape of a jungle drum and bass selection, and because of the Trooper record, DJ Hype on Suburban Bass, he's got like the scratch version because he's just scratching the whole tune.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, this is very interesting. I can do this, but in a different way.
Yeah.
In a different way, because I was like, no, he is a professional.
Yeah.
But I can do this. I think I can do something to
complement.
Make it cool.
Yeah.
So that's when I started. And when I heard the tapes, and I was like, no, I think I should. I think I can do a few things. Then I start practicing.
So is that what Ollie and Ado heard? Or was it just you mixing?
I think it was me mixing and the way I was playing.
Right. Okay.
Because that's the thing. When I came into England for the first time, all the DJs, it was not moving. Not moving.
What do you mean not moving?
Not moving. It's just,
they're just like playing.
It's just playing records. It was like static.
But you're like.
Yeah, it was a static.
Yeah.
And the Hype, Zinc, Mampy, everybody was like, Maximum was like this.
Yeah.
It was just the head.
Yeah.
And the moody face, serious
yeah.
face, just. And I was never understand because it's just a happy music. For me, it's a happy music, anyways. So pretty much, Ado flew to Brazil. He saw me playing. He went crazy. And then he said, I introduced him to the owner of the club. We bring Prost, which is, it was crazy. But we're so happy. Anyways, crazy. Nigel, Jumping Jack Frost came here, and he went crazy when he saw me playing. And with no dub plates, it was just pure record, pure vinyl. Anyways, he's like, oh, you somewhere here making music, and I just like, oh yeah. So I introduced, then XRS was there, and XRS made the kind of a bossa nova track, like with drum and bass beat, with the piano, really nice. And I played it. Frost went crazy.
Yeah.
He went crazy, just like
that's right.
And he was like, what? No.
Yeah.
No, I need this. This is gonna be my label.
Yeah.
He went crazy. I was just like, what
Yeah.
he's talking about, he went crazy. Then he was like, then he started creating this idea of Brazil EP. It was Nigel.
Yeah.
He's visionary, isn't he? Him and Bryan, very. Then we bought Bryan.
Yeah.
And when Bryan came here with the dreadlocks, very different, with Maurice and Malonisha, and he saw me, I was like very happy, and it was just like, I was a little kid, and he saw me play, he's just like, what the hell, what am I gonna do after this guy? It was just like, and I never forget because he came into I was not trying to, beat him on a turntable or something like that. I was happy. I was curious to see him play. You know, he had dub plates. Dub plates. I will never forget. He picked up a dub plate from Music House. That's when I saw Music House. Music House. What the hell is Music House? I'm always curious. Then he put on a turntable, and the first tune it was Ed Russian Optical, Watermelon. The problem is the rest of the tracks he played at the night, I never heard again.
Right.
Never heard.
Right. That's interesting.
So I was just like, I just got memories, of that
that's
night.
Interesting.
I just know one tune. He played like, 2 hours, two hours and a half, something like that. Then he saw me play, he said like, you need to go England.
Right.
You need to play in the UK. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
I don't want to. Then Patife said that,
why were you saying no?
you know, I was dating this TV presenter. Then I was working on MTV as well.
Right,
Yeah,
okay,
I was working on
okay.
MTV at the time.
Yeah. So you're like, I'm all right
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
What am I coming to England for?
Yeah, I'm all right. Then Patife came and now it's got loads of record shops there. You have to go. I just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
That's my weakness in a record shop till now. And I said, no, okay, I'll go. And okay, I'll go. And I remember we came on a fly. The fly was São Paulo, Belgium. We stayed a couple of days in Belgium, then London on Eurostar.
And this is so now this is your first time in London?
Yeah.
And what year is this now?
Yeah, first time it was, I think it was 97.
Right, okay.
It was 97, 99, no, 99, 99, because Bryan played, so he came in. So when he came in, then we went to Bar Rumba and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But in 97, me and Patife came here to visit.
Yeah, because I could have swore you were here before.
Yeah,
99.
we came here to visit. We went to the first two players, the first and only two players at the end. I remember the lineup: Brocky, Hype, Zinc, Mampy, Andy, Fats, GQ. Yeah. At the time, Fats was emceeing for Andy.
Right,
at the time.
Interesting, yeah.
And yeah, we came before. So yeah, so Bryan asked, then we came here. And we came in and he was doing this party at Mass. So he put me to play in a really good time, 9 to 10, because no one knew me, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I played there and I saw these two guys. They like, these are two guys, only two guys.
In the club at the time?
In the club.
So it's empty completely?
It was empty club.
Okay, so there's
and
two guys,
he went crazy. These two guys went crazy. They came in to talk with me. One of these guys is David Milligan, which is, he lives in Bangkok now. He brings all the people, great friend of Goldie and, you know. And Adam Adrock now, he's making like house music, lives in Bristol. He used to hang out with Full Cycle Boys. He knew like Ronnie Crust. And they're like, oh my God, I never see a DJ like you, blah, 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 blah. And just like records, where I can get records. My English was very limited. And at the night, and you know, the night was packed, and I was just like, you know,
kind of
I was living my dream, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because you, like, I never knew until now how big you were in Brazil before you even got here. I didn't even know that.
But I never cared. I never like. I was massive. I was always massive. Knew that. I
mean, from what you're telling me there, do you know what I mean? It's like you created the Brazilian drum and bass jungle scene in Brazil.
Yeah, pretty much. You know? Even my dad, who was like very upset with me, I still got the newspaper. That's when he sold more turntables than guitars in Brazil.
Right. Okay.
He sold more turntables. Yeah, and still got the newspapers like in the frame.
Yeah.
You know, the new. So and I was there. Yeah. So I was like filming. So and Ray was playing. I think it was Ray. Then Bryan was playing, and Groove was late. And I was desperate to meet Groove Rider. Yeah. You know, and because of the history, you know. And Groove was late, and Bryan came to me. This is like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Packed.
Yeah.
Packed. And then he said, like, do you want to, Marky, can you play half an hour?
Yeah.
And I was looking him, I look at my bag, I look at him, I look at the crowd, and I was just like, and suddenly someone came into my head and said, like, look, this is the opportunity of your life. Take it or leave it. Yeah. And I said, no, I'm gonna take it with two hands, with both hands. Boom. Yeah. So I played it.
So then, going back a bit to when Frost heard the record, yeah,
Secret of Rolling Island.
That's right, yeah, and my early memory of your production and whatever was just that I mean, it's an amazing record. Do you get what I mean? And so how did you get into production? And because I know that now you're heavily into production, obviously, but when you first started, was that a deliberate? Was it deliberate to have that Brazilian feel in the music?
For me, I never felt like I never think like I have to do something Brazilian.
Yeah, because you already knew jungle. You already knew
exactly.
jungle. Yeah. And your music background wasn't necessarily Brazilian music.
Exactly. It was Brazilian music as well. Because
but it wasn't like, from what you've told me so far anyway, and off camera, it's like you had a vast range of music.
Yeah, like I was talking.
So you could have drawn from any sort of like thing to have made a record. But it seems that record kind of was synonymous with Marky.
Like a few weeks ago, our breakage just came to me and said like, oh my God, Mark, I discovered this woman, this Brazilian woman, Flora, just like, what? Flora Purim, yeah. I just like, yeah, she lives in LA, but I just like, because I know these artists, and he's like, oh my God, it's the best thing I heard. I said, yeah, no one knows in Brazil because she lives in the US for a long time. Right, anyways, so I always have this music, the knowledge, the background, and the production thing. The first thing I did a few remixes, but not really good. And I always did doing the remixes with XRS. With even like all the tracks Patife did, like Samba Sim, it was with XRS. XRS, he was the studio guy.
Yeah.
He had like a little PC, and he won like competitions, like music production competitions. And he was making break beats and jungle because of me, because he used to come to see me playing as well.
Right, okay.
It's very crazy because all linked on me.
Yeah.
And the Patife started hanging out with these people from Trama Records, and he met Fernanda Porto, and she had this track called Samba Sim, and he liked it, the original, which I never heard the original. I never heard the original track, only the remix. So he had the idea to do this remix with XRS. He did the remix, and Fabio played.
And it blew up.
It blew up, Samba Sim. That blew up, So Fabio played that. That was the first track, like big track.
Yeah, because you see, now there you go. Because I'm sort of like, I'm with you and Patife. I just grouped you both together.
Yeah, everybody started. Together.
Yeah, I just grouped you both together, and not only did I group you both together, I grouped that record as though it was you all together. Sometimes people say, okay, you do it and you have the credit, and you do it and you have the credit. But I always had it as though it was both of you.
Yeah, it was like me, him, XRS. We like friends. I introduced him to XRS as well. So we all made like that concept, the tunes together. But the track, it was the XRS track. Like Nigel went absolutely crazy, and he loves that track because it's got that feeling like that's the way he described at the time, like sit down on a beach and kind of a bossa nova. It was nice, and it was nothing like this in drum and bass, which I confess to you, in my point of view, was interesting at the time. I was playing, was not loving, like, because I wanted like more, You were
music. Playing the record, but to you it was just an all right record. It wasn't
it was
special.
Cool.
It wasn't super special.
Yeah, it was cool.
Right.
And it's very hard for me because even I felt the same with LK. Because then I start, I met then Nigel again, of course. I was in Barroom, but at the time I was playing already in the UK, doing tours and stuff. Playing for £50. Ask Rec. And Nigel, then I was like so into Back Company and all the heavy stuff, just love it so much. And, Back Company in Brazil, it was massive. The bridge came like, 3-4 times. And then I was there at Barroom, but then I was in Nigel. Then we went to eat, me, Frost, Bryan, And he came in. So we came to Barumba and he plays the first set.
Yeah.
And the crowd was there and he start with this track. And it's just like, the hi-hats.
Yeah.
Boom, ba, boom. Boom. I just like, oh my God. And then I stopped the record. I not rewind. I just stopped. I just like, what is this? It's like, it's like, what is this? Marcus! What? Marcus! Just like, well, let me read. Marcus. I was like, Marcus. Who is this guy, Marcus? I have no clue.
Yeah.
But that tune, it was like, how you make me feel. I was just
it's
like,
a serious record, man.
I was just like on that play.
I still play it now.
Yeah, me too. On that play, he played, and I went crazy. And I had like some tracks to cut on Music House. Then at the time I learned, so I was there 10 o'clock in the morning and open midday, right? Midday 1 o'clock.
You learned the routine.
I learned
to
the
be
routine.
able to get into there without getting at the back of the queue.
Exactly. After, so many years, especially like sometimes, I remember once I tried to wait for groove. Playing that place and never again. So pretty much Barumba on Thursday. Friday I went 10 o'clock. I was there waiting on the street, nothing to do. So around like 11:30, I saw this guy come and the guy looked at me and just like, oh, you're Marky, isn't it? I just like, yes, I'm DJ Marky. I'm from Brazil, yeah. Nice to meet you. I'm Marcus Intellect.
Yeah.
I was like, what? You're the guy made the tune. How you make me feel? Yeah. It's my tune. Yeah. Can I cut it? It's like, yeah. I'll give it to you. Yeah, I can cut it. Oh my God, he gave me like, I don't know, 3 or 4 tracks, killer tracks. Yeah. Gave me like that tune, My Soul, which came out on Mellow Heads. He gave me 305, came out on CIA, Universe.
Yeah, big
and
tune.
Lose Control.
Big tune.
And also he gave me Whiplash by Future Car, which is a big tune. It was a massive tune. Anyways, so then me and him start hanging out all the time.
Yeah.
And then start like a big friendship. And I was like hanging out with him. He said like, I think I'm gonna start a label. And I said, yeah, I got the name. It's gonna be Solar. And I wanna do a night called Solution.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, let's do it. And okay, I said, if I make a track, can you put it out?
Yeah.
If you like it, you can put it out. It's like, okay, cool. I said, yeah, if I like, I'll put it out.
Yeah.
So then I was hanging out with him all the time, him and ST Files. And then I back home and I said to XRS, I need to make a track for Marcus Intellect, We need to put it, we need to be in that label. Which is like, we don't even care about money or something like that. And we just want, the record and our name on the label. And so we tried to make a track like, sounds like Ed Russian Optical.
Okay.
We like absolutely fans of Ed Russian Optical, like Lifespan and stuff like that.
I didn't even know that because it doesn't resonate to me in your DJ sets.
I think because when
or in your music that you make.
Yeah, because I used to play that because I was thinking it was like it's a mixing. It's a funk and abstract jazz and stuff like that because I used to listen a lot of jazz because of my dad, like Pharoah Sanders and stuff like that, which my friends always said to me like, "Oh, you're crazy, listen to this." Yeah. And so then we tried to do track like this. It's not working, and I was just like, "Oh, look, I'm just gonna go home. I'm gonna find some samples, and I'll come back." When I came back home, I used to live with my mom at the time. Yeah. And so came to where my records was my room and studio records. So I picked up this record, the 7-inch, which is it was the LK sample. Yeah. The Jorge Ben and Toquinho record. And I put on turntable, just like, I think I can do something we can do something with this guitar. So I recorded and I put on a mini disc, and I start chopping, and I start chopping on a mini disc. Chopping on a mini disc. Yeah. Then got the beat. Then I start chopping the beat as well on a mini disc. Brought everything to, take everything to XRS studio. on the other side of the city. So I went there, and he's like, "Oh, I think we should do something. We can do something with this, but I think we go to jail. We use someone else's music."
Right. Yeah.
I just like, "Oh, I don't think so. You know, Dr. Dre used so many tunes. You know, like pick up the hip hop tunes. You know, and so yeah, then we made the track, and I said, "Doc, we need to put some organ here, like Jimmy Smith." He's like, "Oh no, but Jimmy Smith is like the sound is very kind of bitter, like
Yeah.
And so it's like, no, hush. No, let's put like a low notes.
Yeah.
Like boo, boo.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Then let's record it. And we just record it. And we made the tune. At the first time, because of the day I found the record in my record collection. My mom was cleaning the kitchen, was like washing the kitchen.
Yeah.
I said, like, let's put the name in Liquid Kitchen.
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing to do. It's just because it's just a name.
Right. Yeah.
But before that, he's like, yeah, but this track, it looks like Patife. Let's put it like Patife, and we always call him Duck.
Right.
So let's put a Duck's team.
Yeah.
And I came back to UK, went to Manchester. I said, got a tune for you, Marcus. Got a tune. Listen, play for him. He's like, nah, this is rubbish. Nah.
Marcus, God rest your soul, but Marcus, you slipped on that one, bro.
This is rubbish.
You slipped on that, Marcus.
It's really good because I said this to every single interview he saw. He said like, his biggest regret and stuff like that. It's right, friend. And he's like, oh, I don't like it. Then ST Foul said, no, I like it. It's different. It's good. Let's put it out. No. It's a shit tune. And I was just like, I said, you know what? I spend a lot of time in this bloody fucking studio. And I even enjoy making music. You know what? I want to play records, you know? That's why I think I have to play records, you know? Okay. Did the tour here. Then I flew straight to Miami because I had like, I had to play in Miami. Bryan was there. Bryan said, I know you got CD.
Yeah.
I said, no, I don't have tunes. And he's like, no, I know you got it. Give me the CD.
Yeah.
And I said, no,
How did he know about it?
From Marley Venado, because I played for them.
Ah, okay, right.
They like it, yeah. They like the tune. Instrumental.
Yeah.
And Bryan said like, no, give me the CD, give me the CD. He said like, I don't know, about 10 times. I said, you know what, it's rubbish, but take the CD. It's a terrible tune. The tune is not good.
So you thought that just because
Marcus
of
said
Marcus?
That?
Yeah.
He
just
was my biggest reference, you know. And so suddenly, a lot of people who not used to take my courses start calling me. Until one day, it was very funny. This is one of the best ones. I wish I recorded that. I got my phone and ring, then it's just like, you know, Marky, it was just like, what is this? And I was just like, then I turned it off. Then he called me again. Probably he don't remember that. Then he called me again. Because he was talking so fast. And I was just like, man, look, I'm Brazilian. I don't understand what you're talking about. It's like, suddenly I understand. It's Goldie. Where's the tune? What's the tune? He wants, I said, which tune? Liquid Kitchen. Okay, I need this tune.
Yeah, God is like that, man. He'll flip in.
You know, everybody was calling me Ronnie and.
Yeah, it's a big tune. And that's why I asked you, do you think that, I mean, you've done a lot of music since then, a lot of bangers as well, to be honest with you. Where would you say that sits in the roster of music that you've made? Not just that it's on personal success, but for you. Considering that you just now said that when you said to Bryan, because of what Marcus said, you thought it was a shit tune.
Well, I realized it was a good tune. And for the payback, I told Marcus to do the remix. Right? As a payback. You know, of course, it's the tune that changed my life.
It changed, yeah.
It changed my life because of that tune. And don't forget, I need to mention, because this guy, if it was not from him, I was not get like a lot of publishing money and stuff like that, which changed my life. It was the publishing money. I need to say thanks. I always say thanks to Zinc, because he came to me and talk about publishing and stuff. Then I get paid.
Yeah.
And that I made, I realized one of my family's big dreams.
Yeah.
Because I bought them a house.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the first thing I did.
Yeah.
You know, as soon as I got money, bought them a house.
So your mum was like, okay, you don't have to wear a suit no more.
Exactly. No more suit. No more suit.
And your dad's like, okay, cool, don't worry about the turntables and the instrument, it's okay.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, my dad don't say nothing. It's just like, it was just like something on the TV and just like, yeah, cool. Then I was walking because, by the way, because of the time I was walking the street, isn't it? He was like, everybody said, oh yeah, Marky. He's like, nah, only when I appear on the TV. Yeah, that's my son.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is.
So Marky, you know, like fast forward then, yeah, because unlike, interestingly, with this this conversation, this is very different actually to a lot of the conversations that I've had on this podcast, because this is one of the most career-led interviews that I've done, rather than personal. Yeah. It's really interesting. Really interesting.
Yeah,
it's really interesting.
You know,
It seems like it's a fact that from very early on, from 10 years old, you were already going down the direction of entertainment, and that was essentially that's your life.
Exactly. But I forgot to say one thing, you know. Everything I've done, it was not to be rich, it was not to be superstar, it was not to be famous. But everything I did it's for me, my heroes. And you know, from my heroes in Brazil, my heroes here, it's just to, at the end of the day, everything I want is just like, I want people here to see me and say like, look, he's got this crazy DJ in Brazil, let's send him records. So I was saving money to give my family a good life, pretty much. That was my intention.
And you did that?
Yeah, I did much more.
yeah, I know.
I think I did much more than that, you know. It's a very, you know, sometimes, you know, it's hard for me to talk about my life, you know. A lot of people said, oh, Mark, you're the happiest person in the world. And I'm not the happiest person, but I'm a fighter. I'm the biggest fighter, and probably, you know, all the things I do for love, you know. I do for love. That's, you know, you have no idea how many people came to me and said like, look, you know, Marky, you need to play house music. Look, if you play house music, you're gonna be rich because you got the skills, you got the charisma, and you're gonna be like, you know, successful. I said, yeah, but unfortunately, this is not in my blood, isn't it? My blood is this, it's soul, it's funk, it's boogie, it's drum and bass, you know. Love that music, you know.
We're going to fast forward to present day. What do you think it is that would say that separated you from, or excelled you then to the position that you are, right? Above others that are, you know, like came before you. What do you think that is?
I don't know. I think it's like I said. When I'm DJing, you know, I try. What I think is I don't need it too much. You know, for me, 2 turntables and a mixer is fine. And I try to explore every single piece. And of when I'm playing music, and I try to get everything from the equipment. Don't forget, I came from nothing. You know, now everybody's got, you know, all the, you know, the proper, you know, the proper equipment, like a mix for you, you know, and stuff like that. I don't like it. I like to work, you know. I like to work, and I like to build, construct, and I don't like to play. If I have like, you know, I'm playing in 3 nights. I don't like to play 3 nights the same set. I always change. Always, like, I try to surprise the people and surprise myself, and that's what I do. I try to surprise the crowd and surprise myself. Sometimes I do some really cool mixes, and I'm just like, oh my God. Other day I'll play with GQ. GQ's like, oh my God, this mix, you needed to do it again. And then the week after, like, do it again. I'm just like, I can't remember. Because I can't remember, because it was that moment.
Yeah, yeah.
So this inspires me.
Yeah. We never spoke about it, actually, about when you really got into scratching like that, but you really got your technique is like, it's like proper technique. Do you get what I mean? So like,
Not really.
yes, it is, Marky,
Yes,
man.
no,
Stop
no,
pretending, man.
no.
You know it is, man.
Not
Do you know what
really.
I mean?
But
right?
but I tell you what,
It's a proper technique. It's not like it's not average. Do you get what I mean?
It's quite different. Sometimes I think it's quite boring, because I have to mention him. He came from DJ Hype. That's when I heard the tapes, and I was just like, you know, I was thinking like, it's really good.
So you weren't scratching before then?
No, I was just not interested. Not
Right.
interested.
But were you scratching at all before then, or not?
No.
Right. Okay.
No. So
okay.
when I heard the tapes, I was just like, I can't do this.
Right. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Right.
Then he's like, it was really cool, you know. I was like, whoa, I can't do this. You know, but I don't have like Marky, you know, and it was gonna be similar. So I tried to, you know, create different cuts, you know. But after that, craze came, and all Qberts and Scratch Perverts and Scratch Bastard. This is like JFB. This is another level. I never forget when JFB was in a mixing competition on Barumba, and I was one of the judges. And I saw him. I said, like, I not even vote for him because he was ignorant. He was just too good. It was too much. I said to him, I said, look, you're in the wrong place. You need to go to GMC. You're gonna win.
Yeah.
You're gonna smash it on GMC. And he went and he smashed it.
Yeah.
You know? He said, what are you doing here? You like drum and bass, cool, but that's not your thing, man. Like, him compared to the other guys like mixing, like waiting. It was like not possible. He was like
next level.
Next level. Next level, always next level.
Marky, you're on tour over here now. I know you're coming to the end, and I'm glad I grabbed you before you went back. You know, and I know you've been in the studio. I know you're working a lot with Makoto and what have you. What does like the next sort of like year look like for you, like as far as like Marky's concerned? Yeah,
I got a good deal with a good friend of mine, Eddie Friction. Because pretty much we start our careers together here. You know, when I came to the UK, that's when, you know, he started playing for Hardware, and High Contrast as well booked me. So we pretty much, me, him, and High Contrast. So start together here. He offered me like to do an album for Shogun, and I was like, are they serious? Yeah, we really want a Marky album. Do I have a freedom? You know, I need a freedom. I can do anything I want.
Yeah.
That's
interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah,
that's interesting because it's not. I wouldn't have aligned Shogun and a Marky album together.
It's really funny, isn't it? Because I play a lot of Shogun stuff.
Right.
I think I play I play a lot of Shogun stuff. I love the tracks that he put it out on Shogun. You know, like Alex Perez and some Icy Cold tunes. They put like, you know, Sabra and some. It's really cool. Like Shogun has got like this deep side, like now with Paul and Bryson, they're like amazing talents.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So big shout to Harry and Mr. Noodle, and he's gonna be angry with me. So yeah, and I was just like, then we did, me and Paul and Bryson, we did like the EP, Run the Streets. Unfortunately, it's a fantastic EP, but came out on during the pandemic.
During pandemic, so it didn't really do what it was supposed to be fair, yeah.
So I think because of that, you know, we tried to, then, you know, he offered me to do an album. I was just like, okay, I can do it. I can try to do it. If you give me freedom, because I want to do different. Because, for example, like a lot of drum and bass DJs, when they always have like a house track on the middle, techno or ambient. And I want to make a boogie track because that's where I came from. Yeah. So I want to make like a boogie track, especially like this moment, like in this pandemic, and not just because of the pandemic, but before the pandemic, it's a different people create like a boogie disco scene. Like it's quite big at the moment.
Oh really?
You know?
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's really big. Ben West Beach with DJ Concrete. The Vision, the track Heaven is one of the most played track a few years ago, and even like on my disco parties I used to play this track.
Because I saw you were playing at I can't remember where it was, but I was actually pleasantly surprised to see you playing like, you know, the funk and the disco and whatever. As a matter of fact,
it was a jazz cafe.
That's where it was. Yeah. And I was like, at the same time, we had to postpone it for because of COVID. But I thought to myself, oh, we can get Marky to play at our Pepper Pot show. Do you know what I mean? Which is something that Frost and I do.
Man.
But we'll get you next time round.
Because that's my big passion, isn't it? That's my big passion. I got big record collection, so it's not something that came now. It's something like these records I used to play from my sisters, you know, from back in the day. So I remember when I heard the first time "Let Somebody Love You" by Kenny Burke. First time I heard "Rising to the Top," and you know this.
And man's got them all on vinyl.
All vinyl. It needs to be vinyl. I can see a file. You know, you just needed to. You need to see the RCA spinning, you know. I just like.
So you got this album.
So yeah, I got the album. Yeah.
Are you gonna be?
And the Inner Ground 100 is out now.
Yeah.
So it's a big compilation celebrate the 100th release of Inner Ground. Got Simon Baseline Smith. Got Data Free, Psychon, Random Movement, Fluidity Los Contreras, Colette Warren, Paul and Bryson. Malinky and Decipher, Paul SG, you know, people from all over the world. It's good, man.
That's really good, really good.
Funk. It needs to be funk.
I mean, which is good. I'm glad to hear. Do you know what I mean? And I know, like right now, what Makoto's been doing. I mean, he's always been doing his thing, but recently, I think he's gone into another level, bro.
Yeah, me.
I think he's gone into another level.
Me and Mackie, we like friends for a long time before he speak English.
Yeah.
And I used to, me and him start communicating in some crazy language via AIM. Our friendship, like I always call him my twin brother. But our friendship starts when I went to this shop, Sister Ray shop here. And Fabio booked me to play Swerve, and I want to play something different. And at that time, I don't have like many dub plates, which was quite a big, long period with not playing dub plates. And then I found this record, and I heard this. Then I said, "Oh, can I listen to this record?" In the shop, they said, "Oh, okay. You can listen one record." It was like 4 records. So I can listen one. And I picked up the record by Makoto. And I had this tune, "Take My Soul Baby," and I played it just like, I'm gonna take it. So at night, I went to Velvet Rooms, play a Swerve. When I played the track, Fabio came in. It's just like, normally he was like saying hi to everyone, everybody. He went straight to the DJ, but Marky, what is this shit? I said, I just bought it this afternoon in the shop. Daddy, what is this? What is this? I don't know. Makoto.
Yeah, yeah.
It's Makoto. Who is this guy? No idea. I said, no idea. Anyways, this was a Wednesday. Friday, played for Solution. Played the track, Solution, Marcus. Played the track, Marcus was run. What is this tune? I don't know. I just like, why are these people asking for this tune? Why is this tune? What is this tune? Makoto. Who is Makoto? I don't know. I don't know who is Makoto. Then I played, and everybody, and then he stopped buzzing the Makoto name because I think Danny was putting out the Makoto stuff, but it was not many people know. It was not big buzz. Yeah. Then because of Take My Soul Baby, then it
happens like that.
Yeah,
it happens like that. You can have something bubbling underground. It just takes one thing, one spark.
Because that's what happened with LK as well, right?
One spark, and then it will change your career.
Yeah. So that's what happened. Yeah. So that's what happened. Then we became friends. Then when I came to Japan, I said to him, "Oh, can you take me to the record shop?"
Yeah.
Pretty much I spent like, I don't know, 10 grand in records. I left my clothes, everything, and I came back.
Yeah.
No, I just left.
Yeah.
Ciao.
No, that's what I mean. You left them so that the space
I came
would be
with
for vinyls.
nothing. It was just vinyl. I spent so much money. Then I realized he likes the same music as me, like soul.
Yeah.
He was more deep into soul. Like he's more like Leroy Hudson. And
but this is what I'm saying to you about more recently. Like if you go, maybe I don't believe it's to do with technology. I think it's just like he's evolving, even more so now. The last EP that he brought out, it's just like, bruv, it gives me goosebumps listening to it.
It's beautiful, isn't it? The one with KSR.
I'm telling you, man. Do you know
the one with Danny Wheeler sounds like good looking. It's a great EP. Yeah. You know? So that's when we start making music together. Yeah. So we just put a lot of soul, a lot of Rhodes, and because he's a pianist. Yeah. So I just like, play this. So he knows what I want. I know what he wants. So
will he be featured in your album, like in the Shogun album? Will he be?
Well, Makoto, of course. We got so far. It's going to be 3 tracks with him. We got 2 done. This is the boogie tune because he loves the boogie as well. Yeah. And we got this other track, it's called The Trip to the Stars. That's a drum and bass track. And it's got like 6 minutes, which is 6 minutes nowadays is like, it looks like a 10 minutes track, right? Yeah. But it's like a proper trip. It's a track like it's got beginning, middle, and end is...
it's a piece of music.
Yeah, it's a music. It's one of my favorites so far, the album. That's nice. I was scared, like, Friction's not approved. He said, no, I like it. I love it. I was just like, yes. Yeah. So I was very, very happy. This is one, so far, it's one of my favorite of the albums. It's got a lot of, it's a very sentimental track because I made it like a few days after I left the hospital as well because I was with COVID. I was very ill, very bad, and I was thinking I was not going to survive. But luckily,
you made it through. Yeah. You were always going to make it through, but I knew you were a bit. I mean, I heard about that, and thankfully, like you are still here. Do you get what I mean?
So that's why we made this track and I called The Trip to the Stars. Seems like
bit melancholy. Yeah. So and then tonight, you tell me about tonight. So what's happening tonight?
Tonight is a celebration of the In the Ground 100 album. So it's just me and GQ tonight.
Right. Yeah.
It's gonna be good. So yeah, looking forward. I hope people can come and celebrate with me.
Yeah, Marky. Thanks for turning up today, brother.
Man,
I know you got a busy schedule. I know you got a real busy schedule. I'm glad you were able to make it, and I think I'm gonna come. I got dinner tonight, but I think I'm going to maybe pass over Peckham and come and see you.
Yeah, pop down. Come on.
Big up, Marky. Nice one, my brother.
Big up. Thank you so much. Yeah.
All right. Big up, man. Nice one. That's a wrap.